Hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News. Today, I want to tell you about why Biden's ammo ban really isn't the end of the world and a new bill which could put an end to classified ads on the interwebs. But before we get started, I want to introduce you to the luxurious comfort and style inherent in every TNVC purchase. Discriminating connoisseurs like yourself deserve nothing but the finest in low-light viewing devices. Now you have a friend in the night vision business, so stop by and see what TNVC.com can do for you. If you like seeing stuff more than not seeing stuff, take a look at our sponsor, TNVC.com, your source for quality night vision gear to make you the bump in the night. Okay, so just real quick before we get started, remember that really awesome party that I was telling you about that we were going to do after NRAM? Sorry, it's canceled. I just found out that a whole lot of vendors are pulling out of NRAM, which means that ARFCOM won't be attending either.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Sorry for the bad news. As we get more details, we will be sure to bring them to you. So y'all have heard about that import ban, right? And I know you're very concerned, but don't worry. Uncle Touchy is only stopping Russian imports so they don't compete with Chinese imports. I'm sure any day now he'll lift the ban on Chinese ammo imposed by Clinton and we'll all have access to the finest, slightly radioactive ammunition made by compulsory labor on the market. Ooh, maybe China will invade Afghanistan, then sell back to us all that Russian steel case ammo we bought for the ANA to use against the Taliban.
That's a joke, boy. You missed it. Went right past you.
In all seriousness, Sniffy Joe isn't going to be any more interested in lifting import bans than Trump was. I mean, unless the CCP tells him to, of course. But as much fun as it is to ridicule Uncle Touchy and his secret basement wonderland, this ammo ban really isn't nearly as worrying as folks are making it. You see, Sleepy Joe didn't actually ban Ruski ammo. You can still have it, buy it, sell it, and import it. And if there is a shortage in the near term, it will only be the result of window-licking neckbeards panic buying. If I didn't know better, I'd think Uncle Naughty Hands held stock in ammo import companies. Russian ammo imports only account for about 4% of the ammunition sold in the US, and Russian imports have been severely restricted since the late 90s. And various administrations since then have turned the crank down a little at a time, while none of them have relieved restrictions. But all the bad touch did was to prevent the approval of any new Form 6 applications for at least 1 year. Import permits, which are already approved, will still be valid up to 2 years, though. The boats full of bullets are still on their way here, and they'll keep coming for at least a couple of years. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to come off like I'm trying to make excuses for him. I just want to stave off some of this panic buying. All Stranger Danger really did is create a voracious appetite for crappy foreign ammo over the next few years. It will still be imported, but demand will increase, driving panic buying and scarcity, which will push prices up to levels which are just plain irrational. In the end, if you own something chambered in 7.62 by 39, 7.62 by 54, or 5.45, yeah, you're gonna wind up carpet surfing for loose ammo under the couch like Hunter Biden looking for Parmesan cheese. I mean, you're always going to be able to find some ammo for all those commie blasters. There is still going to be surplus floating around and various non-Russian makers like Cellular and Below, but the domestic stuff has always been scarce and expensive. Maybe this is karmic payback for all the smack talking the AK crew has been doing through this most recent shortage. The bottom line is this import thing isn't a sudden death blow even for commie ammo, but in the long term, it will indeed reduce supply and increase prices. And this is normally the part where I tell you to write letters and make phone calls, but to be honest, there really isn't much of anything we can do about it. I mean, not much point in calling Congress critters. Even if they cared, the most Congress could do, even as one united body holding hands and singing Kumbaya, is still just to wag its finger at the White House and complain about legislative versus executive powers, right? I mean, they could pass a law banning bans, but that's not realistic. So it never hurts to tell your public servants where you stand, but it's as unlikely we'll see a reversal on this one as it was for all the previous import bans instituted by the executive branch and the State Department. Suspected puppy kicker and known Cylon sympathizer Dianne Feinstein has introduced the Accountability for Online Firearms Marketplaces Act, which is targeted at gun classifieds such as Armslist and the AR15.com equipment exchange. It's a brand new bill, so it doesn't have a bill number yet, but Feinstein's press release says it is intended to provide an exception to Section 230 protections for websites which allow users to buy, sell, and trade guns, which would make them vulnerable to civil suits if someone obtains a gun illegally. It's endorsed by all the usual control freak suspects, but it's too early to tell whether it has any legs on it. My gut says it won't get out of committee, but it wouldn't hurt for you to call your Congress critters at 202-224-3121 and remind them you stand adamantly opposed to any gun control schemes, even backdoor ones, and urge them to oppose the Accountability for Online Firearms Marketplaces Act. Before I let you go, I want to make sure you get your daily recommended dose of wrongthink. Would you like to know how to convert a semi-auto Uzi to a fully auto magical freedom dispenser? Richard at BWE Firearms has you covered. Step by step, he shows you how to do it properly and legally. Link is up there if you're interested. Well, friends, that's all I have for you today, but before I go, I just want to take the time to remind you to keep up the pressure on your Congress critters to oppose anti-gun lobbyist David Chipman as director of the AFT. Details, as always, are in the doobly-doo. And if you want to get email alerts for the best deals, projects we're working on, and the hottest stuff you missed on the ARFCOM forums, you'll also find a Linktree link in the doobly-doo for our newsletter. And remember, our robot overlords in the tube of yous know what we want better than we do for ourselves, so they helpfully unsubscribe viewers from channels like ARFCOM, which express wrongthink. Censorship makes puppies cry, and Captain America is very disappointed. So don't forget to check every now and then just to be sure you're still subscribed to us. And while you're at it, ring that notification bell so you never miss a word of our gun rights propaganda. If you want to help us keep bringing you banger content like this, please support the folks who support us. Not only does TNVC.com give you night vision with that cool, refreshing, never bitter taste that goes down smooth, they also have mounts, lights, and all sorts of other gear to make you the bump in the night. I love you.